Welcome back, everybody. We just got done talking about who is already qualified for the Olympics in sailing, climbing, open water swimming, and golf. And now we're going to transition to talking about soccer. We have a couple updates here, guys, so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the USWNT roster for June friendlies, and then I'm gonna explain some very sad news. So let's just get into the USWNT roster for June friendlies. Emma Hayes has named her first official U.S. Women's National Team roster after being named new manager in December. She's 23 years old, and the roster, she's not 23 years old. There's a 23-player roster. I knew I was supposed to say 23, and it's just okay, I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, the 23-player roster will face South Korea in a pair of friendlies beginning June 1st in Commerce City, Colorado on June 1st at Dick's Sporting Good, and we'll conclude in St. Paul, Minnesota on June 4th at the Alliance Field. The two-game series will be the first matches with Hay coaching on the sidelines, and the first of 4 games with the national team ahead of the Olympic send-off games in July. The June roster features 19 players from the 2024 SheBelieves Cup in April and welcomes the return of Rose Lavelle after a brief period away due to a lower leg injury. Lavelle is 2 appearances away from 100 career caps, so she'll become the 43rd player to reach the milestone if she competes in both June friendlies. Colorado natives Sophia Smith, Mallory Swanson, and Lindsey Horan will get a chance to play in their home state. Horan is one of the 5 USWNT players who played their club season in Europe, along with Katarina Marcario, Emily Fox, Corbin Albert, and 16-year-old Lily Johans. Literally going to repeat that, 16 years old. That's insane. Not only is that insane that you're that good at that age, but also just thinking that you're playing with people who are so much older than you and you're at their level and everything. That's insane. Anyway, Hayes said, "I'm really looking forward to getting started. The preparations have been well underway and I can't wait to get into camp. We know it's a short turnaround and we have a lot to work to do, but I am fully focused on making sure that the performances are at the levels that are required to compete. I want to build on the work that Twila Kilgore, who was the former head coach and now assistant coach, has been implementing over the last 6 months. I expect complete commitment from everyone to absorb very quickly the things that I value as the most important so that we can compete this summer. I know they are a highly coachable group and I'm looking forward to challenging them. It's time to go to work. I can't wait to meet the fans, and it's really time to get behind the team as we get closer to putting a roster together for the Olympics." Absence from the roster, which is shocking, is Alyssa Naher, who sustained a thigh injury on May 12th during NWSL club play, and defender Abby Dal Kepner. Other NWSL players who have been dealing with injury during the NWSL regular season but have been named to the June training camp are Lavelle, Alex Morgan, Tierna Davidson, Naomi Girma, and Jaden Shaw. 2 players have earned their first senior national team call to Chicago Red Stars center back Sam Stab and midfielder Washington Spirit Hal Hirschfeld. Hayes has also included 3 training players into the mix: midfielders Olivia Moultrie, Croix, Bethune, and defender Kate Weisner. The trio will not be on game day rosters, but will train with the team. So let's just go over the complete roster to just lay this out and make this a lot clearer. Okay, so there's going to be 3 goalkeepers. First is Jane Campbell from the Houston Dash, Aubrey Kingsbury from the Washington Spirit, and Casey Murphy from the North Carolina Courage. There are 7 defenders rostered: Tierna Davidson from the New Jersey, New York Gotham FC, Emily Fox from Arsenal FC, Naomi Girma from the San Diego Wave FC, Casey Kruger from the Washington Spirit, Jenna Nice-Wonger from the Gotham FCS, also Emily Sonnet, also from Gotham, and Sam Stab from the Chicago Red Stars. There's also 6 midfielders rostered: Corbin Albert from the Paris Saint-Germain FC, Sam Coffey from Portland Thorns FC, Hal Hirschfeld from the Washington Spirit, Lindsey Horan from the Olympique Lyon, Rose Lavelle from Gotham, and Lily Johans from AFC Ajax. And then lastly, there are 7 forwards rostered: Crystal Dunn from Gotham, Katarina Marcario from the Chelsea FC, Alex Morgan from the San Diego Wave FC, Trinity Rodman from the Washington Spirit, Jaden Shaw from the San Diego Wave FC, Sophia Smith from the Portland Thorns FC, and Mallory Swanson from the Chicago Red Stars. I'm extremely excited to watch 2 players in particular. Alex Morgan, because she's Alex Morgan, we love watching her, and Lily Johans, considering that she's literally 16 years old. So it's going to be interesting to see how she does and how she plays in general too. And seeing Alex Morgan always play is always interesting, and she is so iconic. So I'm excited for those two players especially. Now we're going to transition into some sad news in the world of women's sports. Australia prolific striker and captain Sam Kerr will not play at the women's football tournament at the Paris Olympics as she continues her recovery from a serious knee injury, and her participation in the Paris Games has been under doubt after the 30-year-old ruptured her ACL during a training camp in Morocco with her club Chelsea. So this has been kind of known for a little while, but it was never, I guess, truly finalized or established. In March, Kerr's father, Roger, told ABC Radio that she was definitely out of the running for the 2024 games. Football Australia had not confirmed Kerr's unavailability until Matilda's head coach Tony Gustafsson on Tuesday announced a 23-member squad for their pre-Olympic friendlies against China, leaving out Kerr. So this is, I guess, when we really were like, oh, like this is true. Like, I guess I don't know, it kind of hit me. I was like, I heard about when her father said that she's definitely not playing, but seeing her not on the roster was like a true confirmation of, like she's really not playing. Anyway, the governing body said that Kerr, Australia's all-time top scorer with 69 goals and 128 appearances, would continue her rehabilitation program in her home club environment and would be unavailable for selection for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The statement added that the Matildas would also be without attacker Amy Sayer for the Summer Olympics. The latest squad, however, saw the return of defenders Claire Hunt and Courtney Nevin and goalkeeper Lydia Williams. Gustafsson said the 23-member squad was a strong guide to his final Olympic lineup, but some omitted players like injured midfielders Katrina Gorey and Ivy Lewick could come into consideration. Gustafsson said, I think everyone can do the math here and understand that obviously the Olympic roster will be based mostly out of those that are in this upcoming May-June camp. However, we also have some players in Katrina Gorey and Ivy Lewick unavailable for selection for this window, but most likely will be physically unavailable. But most likely will be physically available to be part of the Olympic roster. This window will be a tough one for me and my staff in terms of evaluating players where they are, and then the final selection process for Paris. We want to use this camp to summarize the evolved playing style we have built upon in the last couple of months. Should go back to what we did at last year's FIFA Women's World Cup and the core things we did well there, and then add to the layers we have worked on since. Then we will see if we can get more of a complete overview of where we are positioned, work on nuances and details, and get some answers of where we are, what we need to keep working on come the Olympics. This is the second time in a row that injuries have impacted Kerr's participation in a major tournament. Kerr spent most of her time on the bench during the 2023 Women's World Cup, which was co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand, after she picked up a calf strain. She was expected to play a major role for Australia at the Paris Games after they missed out on a medal at the 2021 edition in Tokyo, but will be forced to watch her team from the sidelines. Australia will play friendlies against Asian Cup champions China on May 21st and June 3rd in Adelaide and Sydney respectively before they travel to Paris for the July-August Olympics, where they will bid for their first Olympic medal after making the semifinals of the World Cup on home soil last year. So just a little FYI there. So now we're going to move on to our next segment. I'm so sad, just talking about this, because, she's so known for how many goals that she's scored. And I'm and she's missed out on another tournament. And it's now she's missed out on the Olympics. That's huge. And also just hearing that she's definitely not going to be there but never believing it. And then you actually see that she's not there. I don't know. It's just sad. So we're going to move on to our next segment, which is our last segment, where we're going to talk about the top NCAA D1 women's track and field competitors of the season. Before we get into that, we are going to be taking a short break, so I will see you guys really soon.